already hovering over that triple DPS. Gamers Origin not really showing their hand quite yet, but I imagine they're going to be going with that triple DPS also. Actually, might be the 2-2-2 with Poco immediately picking up that D.Va.
I'm glad to see the D.Va play coming in here. We've seen a lot of D.Va play in North America to help deal with some of the DPS-heavy options, and see if it works out here for Gamers Origin. It really will depend on how Poco plays this D.Va, but it will enable Gamers Origin to be a lot more aggressive on their dive. They have more meat on the ground, which means that they have to force Cyclowns to come around and outflank them, which they're trying to do right now with Devin, but so far, it's Gamers Origin getting poked around from all sides, and yet they're able to return fire. They get the first 2 kills, and it's Cyclowns now that kind of have to back out a bit.
Yeah, looks like the defense matrix was used to great effect by Gamers Origin there, just mitigating so much damage. Even though Poco had dropped really low earlier on, he was able to survive, and the difference was that Latex got focused down so quickly, and like you had mentioned, not as much meat for Cyclowns on the ground.
No, not at all, and we'll see how they deal with this D.Va. I don't expect them to really change up anything too quickly here, maybe when it gets to the do-or-die part of the round. But Cyclowns are going to be diving right back in, but Latex just getting slammed in the beginning. All the focus fire going on him. They're down their Winston. But Winston dive did result in the Zenyatta kill. So Cyclowns is still getting their pounds of flesh here as they move in from the sides. They can't fight it as straight up as they would like, but if they get a few more kills, it might be all they need to retake control.
Oh, nice deflect there coming out from Pox to make sure he didn't get stuck there, but Zik did connect onto Crusade, and so now they're pushing forward with the man advantage. And our Gamers Origin, they've already got that point. Now Destro, he's got the blade out. It's Dixie Dix pushing forward to get the kill onto Pox.
Dixie Dix moving out in style. That is a 3-kill dash resets all on the way. And even though Cyclowns was arguably getting a little bit of traction there, once the ultimates came up for Gamers Origin, that was that courtesy of Dixie Dix's blade.
Now, taking a look at the side of Gamers Origins, they do have both of their support ultimates up, none of their offensive ones quite yet, so that's going to be able to buy them enough time. As the point is being contested right now, and finally Gamers Origins do react to that as they try to push out from the high ground, but they're going to get forced back by Ben, Best, and Poco.
Well, they're getting pushed back because the defensive matrix is in their face. You can't shoot back into that. They're using tight quarters to their advantage, but back on the point, you do see that Davin for Cyclowns has worked his way around. Cyclowns has the right idea to an extent here, but their execution has been lacking, and they really have had trouble dealing with this D.Va, where you just see the level of protection coming out here for Gamers Origin on the high ground. Now the fight's getting a little bit more messy. Everyone is everywhere. Cyclowns is very much spread out, but the problem is they need to decisively take this point, and they do sneak the cap during it, so it does kind of work out.
Yeah, but it was at 83%, so now Cyclowns really can't miss a step here. They do have control of it right now, gets the team back onto Poco, so this is going to buy them valuable time.
It's buying them good time here, but the thing is for Cyclowns is that now they have to hold on to this in this matter for about 4 to 5 fights in a row, which can be easier said than done. Gamers Origin, their path to victory here in this round, much more simple. One good fight, and that should be that. Zik right now, sitting in the back, Pulse Bomb at the ready. You see Dixie Dix moving up close to a Dragon Blade, and they're just going right up through the front again.
Yeah, there was almost no resistance there as they made their way on out. We do have the Orb of Discord on him. He is able to make it over to that Mega Health Pack, and Dixie Dix might actually fall for his efforts here, but no, finally, with that deflect coming out, he's able to get the headshot onto Latex.
Latex took a wrong turn in Albuquerque there. He was very out of position, hoping for the sweet release of death. But what this means is that Gamers Origin is able to effortlessly move back in off of that early Winston kills, get control of the point, and now Cyclowns in the situation where they have to throw their bodies onto the point just to keep it in overtime. They're going to be down players. Gamers Origin now in a dominant position to finish this round out.
Destro was able to get the kill on Noki though, so they are really starting to fight back as it is in overtime, and Latex now comes in, takes Poco out of his mech. We got the Transcendence coming on as they are fighting over the point, and they should be able to take it, keep control over this point as yeah, Zik's just going to go ahead and throw himself off the ledge, regroup with his team. Now, they have some time on the side of Gamers Origin, try to go for a junk rush, force out some ultimates from the side of Cyclowns, and then go for a much stronger push.
I actually don't think they have the time to really go for a junk rush and come back in here. It's going to be one more fight, and they let Cyclowns back into it. They already have the man advantage, but Cyclowns just sneaks in through the back, gets on that point, forces Gamers Origin to adapt in a rough way, and now Cyclowns on the verge of getting this one away from Gamers Origin. Both teams right now into this final fight as Destro pops attack visor, D.Va in his face going to be ruining his day and then some. But the rest of Cyclowns free to go to the Gamers Origin backline.
Yeah, Pox, we saw immediately actually wrapping his way around towards that spawn side, but it's going to be Dixie Dix coming with the Dragon Blade, picked up a double kill, but still it's that certain kind. Helix Rocket to Zik. Self-destruct came on out to try and get them off this point, but the Pulse Bomb comes on out. It does not take him out. Now, the point has been flipped in favor of Gamers Origin.
Gamers Origin trying to bring this one back as they thought it should have been, but you still have some delay coming in from Cyclowns here where they do have people coming back in. Destro able to get away. He was low with the Discord Orb, comes back in, and there is the possibility now that Cyclowns could bring this one back. It is messy on the point. We are in overtime. Both teams on the verge. But look at Destro. Destro is able to make space, get out, has room here, and sure he has to worry about the Diva, but here's the problem for Cyclowns. They have to stay at the point. That almost got away from them in just a split second.
But they were just off the point for a split second there, so it's going to be Gamers Origin walking away with that, even though there are like 2 members of Cyclowns there.
That was interesting. It did look like members of Cyclowns were still on the point, but the game knows best. Gamers Origin gets away with that one. And I gotta say, it was good pressure from Cyclowns coming in there towards the end where things were looking pretty rough for Cyclowns, especially with how they're dealing with the Diva, but they got control of the point. They kind of snuck it away from Gamers Origin when Gamers Origin looked poised to be on the cusp of victory, and even the end was very close.
Poco once again gonna go ahead and man that Diva mech. No, he's swapping off onto the Soldier 76, which we see pretty prevalently here on Sanctum.
Sanctum, almost the lab of control to some extent. There have been times where we've seen Junkrat, there have been times where we've seen Orisa, even times where we see Pharah when Pharah wasn't even used that much, but both teams gonna be playing this more by the book, so to speak, or at least the meta that teams like running here. And what a deflect coming in from Dixie Dix there. Poco got credit for the kill, but that was all deflection all the way as Gamers Origin takes it right to Cyclowns.
Yeah, already that's a second kill going on down. Latex falls as the point is getting ready to unlock. He gets the dash resets, makes it out to safety. No, he won't. Davin cleans him up, but that's just the consolation kill.
And now Gamers Origin can breathe a little bit easier. They can get first control of this point. And this is one of the control points that it's a little bit easier to hold control of. Cyclowns is going to be under quite a bit of pressure in pulling this one back, especially in the next fight where they don't really have points to break this.
Latex dropped down low again as Davin is just trying to find his entry into the back line here. Try to find that one crucial pickoff, but he hasn't been able to find his window quite yet.
No, not quite yet. Cyclowns definitely taking it slow and trying to get back in and around. And no, they're trying to entertain the idea of sneaking the point. You have Pox going in, but he gets poked off immediately. Can't really stay on there. And while he's doing that, the Gamers Origin is just moving in on Cyclowns on the flank. It's going to work out. Not only do they take down Latex, now they're just going to be able to dive right into the back as Pox, if nothing else, he's determined, saying, I'm gonna ninja this point. As a Genji, who is also a ninja.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a disconnect between the Cyclowns tank and their supports right now. Latex, he's been a pincushion for the side of Gamers Origin. They've just been able to farm their ulti off of him continually. You'll see that his health drops way below 50% and he has to back on off, and that just takes him out of the fight. You don't have to commit to the kill if the tank is already out of the fight and he can't get to his heals.
No, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Pox just seemed out of that fight in general, but the next fight is going to be underway right now. Here comes Attack Visor in from Destro as Cyclowns now desperately starting to run out of time. They don't have that much left to actually flip this. We're going to switch back to Poco, who pulled a Attack Visor of his own. And really, there's a lot of damage being done back and forth, but no kills here just yet. But Dixie Dix, the blade is out. It's close quarters. This is where Genji loves to be, and he harvests at Cyclown's expense.
Harvest indeed, as Pox does get a kill onto Ben Best, but once again, these are just staggered kills, and it's just buying more time for Gamers Origin at this point.
Well, Cyclowns right now, they came to Nepal looking for Mondada's gold, but I think right now they'd be happy with just a control point capture for this point. They're going to be down to their final attempt as Gamers Origin has had an ironclad vice for control of this, although they back out just here. I'll give it up, all right.
Yeah, Destro gets that Helix Rocket kill onto Poco. But Gamers Origin, for their retake, they've got some good ultimates at hand, right? They've got the Sound Barrier along with that Transcendence. But Cyclowns, they've only got the one support ultimate at the ready.
Cyclowns here, they have Barrier Blade, which can be good enough in the situation. They will have to deal with both Barrier and Transcendence. No, Zik creeping. This is scary at times with Tracer has you walked in. And Zik, though, this time not really going to get on the targets immediately, but he is searching for anything in the back. Dives to the back line. Pulse Bomb is out, does not connect. And meanwhile for Cyclowns, Pox the matter into his own hands. The blade is out, but completely stymied here by the Transcendence. Gonna have to put that blade away to ill effect. The game is Origin, but standing here as they look to push right back in.
Yeah, they committed both support ultimates into that, but found nothing off of it. Now, Poco, he does have that tactical visor at the ready, but FC is getting closer and closer to that Transcendence. He doesn't have it quite yet, though. Destro found the kill onto Noki first, though.
Destro holding things in here from Cyclowns, even as Gamers Origin prioritizes the point to great success. You have Latex and Devin try and move in there, immediately punished, and this forces out the panic Transcendence here from Cyclowns. They don't have that much to give here, but Destro coming back in on the flank. Attack Visor gets a kill, but they have no one on the point. They need to get on the point. We are in overtime as Gamers Origin starts bopping up the remaining people in and around the center of Sanctum.
Yeah, as they made that scramble back onto the point, they lost 2 members, but Latex is there with that Winston, finds a kill on the 6, but he will fall to Poco. Now Davin, sole member on the point so far, as Pox is able to make it back with that Genji, but he's stuck in a corner, hit, and the Winston just focusing him on down.
Oh no, no, what have you done, Bedbest? That isn't the floor. That isn't the floor at all. You have fallen into a pit, and now when you were supposed to delay, Cyclowns is able to come back in, retake control of the point, and they are about 1 fight away from taking this round. Oh no.
Yeah, he found himself in that awkward timing where he was running out of Primal Rage and then didn't get the reset on his jump there. Falls to his death, but they have one more opportunity on the side of Gamers Origin. They've got the Transcendence to work with it. Poco getting closer and closer to his tactical visor, but on the other side, Cyclowns, they've almost got their sound barrier, almost have their Transcendence along with the blade.
Well, Ben Best is going to fall again. It has been a rough minute and a half for him here as Cyclowns gets firm position. They have the numerical advantage, and it is desperation for Gamers Origin. They have to go in here with the Transcendence attack visor, but very little to be had here so far for Poco, who really is on a dream and a prayer. And this is going to be answered by a Transcendence from Cyclowns, who very easily here are pushing away Gamers Origin. And that is quite a comeback for Cyclowns for a round that was not looking all that great for them early on.
In terms of execution, both sides looking a little bit sloppy here. Not able to use their ultimates to great effect. We didn't see any huge plays coming out from any of the DPS, really. We did have one good blade, I believe, but not much else. Now we are moving on to the third point. It's going to be Shrine. It's tied up so far, 1-1 here on Nepal.
It is tied up, and don't forget, Cyclowns was able to take Watch Point Gibraltar, not in a dominant fashion, but very comfortably. So Gamers Origin, they're the ones in the hot seat here, where they are 2 rounds away from losing #1 here on day number 2.
Looks like both sides, once again, mirror compositions coming on out. Triple DPS. Winston is basically what's been run all day long so far. Point 20 seconds away from unlocking as they do meet over at the Elephant.
Well, Jamerson, welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games, or at least we got Winstons, who are right now just dancing with each other. Both teams being a little bit more hesitant on how to engage this, but Cyclowns right now definitely taking more of an aggressive posture. They have more people on the point. They're pushing Gamers Origin back. They're certainly winning the poke board here. So nothing flashy, just good solid play that has Gamers Origin a bit on the back foot, and that is a lot of cleave coming in. And yet, Dixie Dix to the back line, trying to even things out a bit.
It's both Genjis going down, but the health lines on the side of Gamers Origin not looking great, especially as that pulse bomb connects onto Noki. And with that, Crusade comes in, finds a kill onto Zik, and now they're running out of bodies on the side of Gamers Origin.
What you just saw there is that Cyclowns, they were winning the poke war relatively easily there, and yes, you had a bit of a burst coming in from Dixie Dix, but it doesn't heal up all the people that have just gotten worn down over the course of the fight, and eventually it breaks where you suddenly lose 3-4 people in one go, and Davin there was more than willing to accommodate, diving in at the last moment. So Cyclowns looking much better to start out here on the Shrine.
Yep, they've got 2 ultimates already at the ready. That's the sound barrier along with the tactical visor, as Gamers Origin just pushing in through main right now. They're leading once again with Ben Best, but he's been getting focused down. Take a look at that. He was already dropped down to 25 HP.
He had to get out of there in a hurry, but this creates an opening for Cyclowns to do more. Although in this case, Pox bit off a little bit more they could chew. Panic sound bear coming out here from Cyclowns to try and save this when they're down a player, but Gamers Origin goes, by the way, we can drop the beat too, and we have more players. We're gonna move right into you. No, Dixie Dix, a little bit too far in. Punished by Destro with the attack visor, so Cyclowns even though this has started a bit on a rough tilt for them, they can still potentially win this fight, or at least stall it out to gain more crucial percentage.
Yeah, Dragon Blade coming out from Pogs. He finds the first frag onto Poco, gets the reset, but has to back off. No, he's going to go down as Ben Best was right on top of him the entire time. But remember, throughout the entirety of that fight, Cyclowns had control of that point, so it's ticked up to 67%. And they're going to be able to force back Gamer's Origin.
Yeah, you had the response come in from Cyclowns, and they were able to get the really hold that they needed, where it was win-win for them. Either they get a lot of stall, and they have the progress that they can feel good about coming back in, or in this case, they can actually maintain control of the point, which makes things oh so much worse here for Gamer's Origin, where really it's up to Poco to find perhaps a flanking tac visor he's so fond of, but it's more difficult here on the Shrine, and he just gets crunched. Latex having none of the idea of him coming in with the tac visor.
No, allergic to those pulse rifle munitions, as Zik is just trying to find an entry onto your sound barrier committed by Cyclones, even though they're already a man down. Pulse bomb is going to connect onto MC, takes him down, but for his effort, he will fall to to Latex there. And just like that, Cyclones are going to take the second point here on Nepal.
Well, that was more of a spite pulse bomb than anything else. I mean, as that was going on, his team was dying all around. I was just like, you know what? Have this. Just take this. Take all of my rage at my entire team being dead. But now Cyclowns, one round away from taking first place here on day number 2, which would give them a number 9 seed here in Overwatch Contenders for EU.
There's definitely a possibility to try and fight back into this, but you were right. His team was just dying right all around him. We are going to go back to Sanctum here.
Well, we're going to go back to Sanctum, and this is where Gamer's Origin actually looked really good for a while. They just sort of got away from them towards the end, and if they want to even entertain the idea of keeping the series going, well, they're going to need to channel what they had the first time around, and this time, not let it get away from themselves. And Ben Best should probably avoid holes.
And once again, it's going to be mirrored compositions, triple DPS dive as the teams are trying to commit on over to this high ground now. The Winston's just dueling over there by the Mega Health Pack, but it's going to be Latex that blinks first and has to jump off.
Well, you have Latex moving in there. It is 5 versus 5 here. Both Winstons out of the game. This is a scientist-free zone as both teams just look for positioning here. And it is mirrored in all sense of the word. You have Tracers fighting on the point. You have everyone trading off poke on the high ground. But when the dust settles, it is Cyclowns up and ahead. They win the Tracer War, they win the Poke War, and they get first control of this point.
Yeah, it's kind of just like when you see those Bizarro battles, right? Tracer versus Bizarro Tracer there at the end. But now, Cyclowns, 90% away from securing their 9th seed here, the EU Contenders.
Well, they're very close, and we have yet to confirm whether or not their Tracer has a goatee. We will keep you posted. That usually happens in Bizarro World situations. In any case, Gamer's Origin right now looking for a way back in their series life on the line. And the Tac Visor is going to come in here from Destro as he is looking for anyone and anything, pushing the advantage and laying in the damage in the Gamer's Origin. And finally, they have to fall back. They've lost 2 people, and even though the overdive cost Cyclowns a little bit, it still should be enough to give them firm control of the point for a little while longer.
Yeah, Latex finding both the Omnic and his student there. Genji going down at the end. Almost 50% on the board for Cyclowns, and they're in a real comfortable spot. They've got the sound barrier up, the Transcendence coming up soon along with the Primal Rage. So really, in this next fight, they could just commit with the Primal Rage and try and stall as long as possible.
They have a lot of options to win this fight, but Gamer's Origin is going to have to win some fights at an ult disadvantage to bring this round back. They need to start here, where it's not that bad. They have double support ultimates up. It's going to be Cyclowns dropping the beat first. Gamer's Origin still at full strength, needing to back out a bit. If they're going to drop this, they're going to drop it now. They open with the Transcendence, sound barrier on deck. Cyclowns still very much in this fight, but now it is all in here for Gamer's Origin. The blade is out, and Dixie Dick strikes right into the back line. 4 kills here for Gamer's Origin, and this should give them just a little bit of life here in the second.
Yeah, Latex did use that Primal Rage, was able to stall out just a little bit, but almost every ultimate used there in that last fight. Now, this is where Gamer's Origin are going to struggle. I mean, they have to play this pristinely. They cannot misstep at all.
If Gamer's Origin loses another fight, the game is likely over. That is going to be Cyclowns taking the round and taking the series. And in terms of what they have on deck, Pox has the Dragon Blade. Not a lot to go with it, but we've seen him do quite a bit and just roll into the back, and he's going to go for it. The blade is out. The support's at his sights, and he takes a Zen Orb right to the face. Pip having none of it as Gamers Origin breathes perhaps a little bit more life here in what is now a 4 versus 4 fight.
Yeah, he had to just approach from such a forward angle that it was pretty easy to predict. And we saw by the time he got his second slash off, he was already down to about 10, maybe 5 HP. So not much coming of it. But Cyclowns, they do have that leniency, right? They can mess up a few of their pushes because they have such a huge advantage.
Cyclowns has mulligans to spare here, where they can lose about 2 more fights before they have to win 1. It depends on how long it takes to set up. Gamers Origin is going to have to win one of these fights at a disadvantage, but more than anything else, they have to be careful not to die before they also even enter the fray. Both Poco and Zik, they're getting very low, and that could have been incredible danger if Cyclowns was able to convert on those kills. Cyclowns are moving in, the Pulse Bomb is in, Davin connects, but Ben Best fighting right back. Both teams leaving it all on the field.
Oh, Primal Rage is just going to be able to stomp out that tactical visor coming out from Destro, and Gamers Origin pushing them back all the way over at the choke point now. Latex falls along with Crusade, so now it's come down to the last fight for Cyclowns.
Ben Best picking up 3 kills there, and really when it comes for Ben Best, he wasn't even trying to kill people, he just wanted to throw them into the pit to let them see what he sees, and you know what, he just kind of killed them in the process.
Right now, Cyclowns. They've got the sound barrier. They might have the Dragon Blade and possibly the Transcendence, but Destro finds that first pick onto Zik.
Zik goes down, and you are right, Jamerson. This is a great opportunity here for Cyclowns. The sound barrier is out. Pox waiting and ready. When that sound barrier expires, the blade shall come out. Cyclowns trying to put this one away right here and right now. Pox hasn't really had a good opportunity here. In fact, he's gotten poked down. Now he goes to the side, still hanging onto this blade. The Transcendence is out. And this is an interesting fight the way it's going down. Cyclowns doesn't go as deep early on, but now Pox strikes. Goes to the back and finds 2. His patience well rewarded. Cyclowns on the way to winning the round. They take the round, they take the series, and they take first place here on day number 2.
Towards the end there, Cyclowns just did a really great job of playing around the ultimates. Even though Poco had that tactical visor, they just popped the Transcendence, and everyone just jumps inside of it, leaves them no opportunity to try and find a frag, and just went with the man advantage at that point.
A little bit of handiwork here from Dixie Dix. Didn't quite work out to a win for Gamers Origin, but he had his moments here in the series.
He did, and it was fun to watch some of those moments. And it seemed like both teams were having a mixture of hero plays and then also some mistakes. And it could be the fatigue reaching the end of a long day and a long weekend, as both of these teams have been playing for quite a bit of time. But it does seem like the